In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why those who live in Port Moody love it so much, why so many people want to move here, and the top neighborhoods to check out if you're considering purchasing a property in Port Moody, this incredible suburb of Vancouver. And if you stick around until the end, I will even hop on a map and share my screen with you and show you where all the development is coming to the area, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, what's going on? Mark Parsons here with eXp Realty, helping home buyers, sellers, and investors make the right move when it comes to real estate. Honestly, we get dozens of people reaching out about moving to or relocating to the area, and we absolutely love it. It's what we do on a daily basis, so if you're looking to move, relocate, or just want to come and hang out here, make sure to reach out. I'll leave some links in the description where you can book a call on my calendar, as well as my contact info. We have your back and we want to take care of you, and if you get any value from this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, tap that notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of our future content. So without further ado, let's jump into the video and learn more about Port Moody. So I'm speaking from personal experience when I say I love Port Moody and that it's a great place to live and raise a family. I personally have lived here for about 10 years. Port Moody wraps the eastern tip of the Burrard Inlet and is the last oceanfront heading east in the Lower Mainland, bordered by Coquitlam on the east and south, and by Burnaby on the west. Being a port city, it is one of the oldest towns in the Lower Mainland, where you will see some heritage homes as much as 100 years old, but there is also a ton of new development in the area and big plans for growth. Port Moody is very well connected. In 2018, the SkyTrain opened up 2 stations in Port Moody, making the city very well connected to the rest of the Greater Vancouver Area where the SkyTrain runs. It also has the first station on the West Coast Express commuter rail line outside downtown Vancouver, taking the commute from downtown Vancouver to Port Moody down to 25 minutes. You also have the Barnett Highway for fast vehicle access downtown, about 35 minutes without traffic, and you can hop on the number 1 highway up the hill to head east or to the Fraser Valley. Port Moody is broken down into 11 sub-areas, which is full of incredible natural amenities. Of course, you have the Burrard Inlet, which allows you to smell the ocean, but there are incredible freshwater lakes which are great for hiking and swimming in the summer, Bunsen Lake and Sassmat Lake, as well as Belcarra Regional Park, which is another incredible oceanfront location for Port Moody residents to enjoy. Port Moody has a mix of condos, townhomes, and detached homes, but it really depends on which communities you are in as for how many options you will have of each property type. So I'll start with College Park and Glenayre. This area is mostly residential detached mixed with some townhomes, and it's where you can find the most affordable detached homes in Port Moody. These are well-established neighborhoods with most of the homes here built between the 50s and the 80s, with an average lot size of about 7,500 square feet, but it does vary, and you can find 10,000 square feet plus lots in the area. Both these neighborhoods are on the hill or at the top of the hill, so some homes will have incredible views of the Burrard Inlet. There's also a great park in the area, West Hill Park, with an outdoor pool, a covered lacrosse box suitable for all-weather hockey or lacrosse, a soccer field, and a baseball diamond, along with a 2.4 kilometer trail, great for hiking and running. And there are some major developments and opportunity coming to the College Park area, which I will get into if you stick around until the end of this video. Next, we will look at Heritage Mountain and Heritage Woods. These areas are also both on a hill as well. Most of Port Moody is on hills, but because of the hill, some of these properties will also have incredible views. Not all of them, but select homes positioned the right way without obstruction can have very nice views. In this area, the homes were typically built in the late 90s to early 2000s, which usually means you are likely to get a larger home, but usually on a smaller lot, and it will cost more. You have fast access to great sports fields as the schools are newer up here, and as you are on the other side of the inlet, you have much faster access to Bunsen Lake, Sassmat Lake, and Belcarra Regional Park. You will also find townhomes in this area as well. Next, let's look at North Shore Port Moody. Now, if you say North Shore in Vancouver, most people will think you are talking about North Vancouver, but this little strip in Port Moody is also called North Shore. Along Ioko Road heading west, typically it is all detached homes, many with incredible views of the water. And if you are lucky enough to be on the waterfront side, most of the homes have incredible docks where you can head down to downtown Vancouver directly with your boat. You also have the Shoreline Trail connecting Rocky Point Park to the Port Moody Rec Center and Port Moody Library, which continues along the water, bringing you to Old Orchard Park, which has playground for kids, picnic tables, and an ocean beach. On the east side of Ioko, you have Newport Village, the first of many planned master communities coming to Port Moody. Today it contains many small shops, restaurants, an Irish pub, as well as grocery shopping. Housing here consists of low-rise and high-rise condos. It has quick access to the SkyTrain at Inlet Center Station, which is spurring more transit-oriented development in the area. The North Shore also has some major developments and opportunity coming to the area, which I will touch on at the end of this video. Next, we have Anmore and Belcarra. These areas are pretty much strictly detached homes, and this is where you will find the most expensive properties in Port Moody. In Anmore, you have the best access to Bunsen and Sassamat Lake. Most of the homes are on an acre of land or more. And in Belcarra, you will find oceanfront homes and homes with some breathtaking views. These areas are where you will typically find the largest executive homes in Port Moody. And last but not least, we have Port Moody Centre. This is where most of the development plans are for Port Moody, or where they're centered around. Here you can find a mix of detached homes, new and old, as well as townhomes and condos. Port Moody Centre is where you will find Rocky Point Park and Brewers Row. At Rocky Point Park, you have lots of food options, from fine dining at the Boathouse to the famous fish and chips at Pajo's, to many food trucks on Brewers Row across the street, which has 4 local breweries. Apart from the Rocky Point Park and Brewers Row, there are many other incredible food options in the area, as well as 2 SkyTrain stations, a boat launch, and fast access to Barnett Highway if you are heading downtown. Port Moody Centre is also home to 2 master communities, Klahanie, which is directly across from Rocky Point, made up of townhomes and low-rise condos, and then Sutter Brook Village, which is made up of primarily high-rise and low-rise condos with all of your commercial needs for shopping, dining out, banking, etc. All in all, Port Moody has something for everybody. It has a great outdoor lifestyle and more action and community festivals to enjoy, such as Rib Fest, Golden Spike Days, and a big Canada Day celebration. Families and young adults love Port Moody for a reason. Now, without further ado, let me jump on my computer and share my screen to show you where some major development projects are coming to Port Moody, which will ensure your real estate investment in this community continues to grow. All right, so now I'm going to share my screen with you and show you where the major developments that are on the books that are coming in Port Moody. So again, here is a sub-area map. This is a tip of the Burrard Inlet coming in there, just so that you have context when I bring you to this image here. So that's a Burrard Inlet, and the majority of the projects are in the Port Moody Centre, which kind of brings up this here, but you do have that on the outskirt and that on the outskirts. So if we look here again, so the majority of them are along here. Oh, in fact, the one that is on this side, oh, it's right there actually. And then we do have ones up in College Park. So that's where the majority of all of these new developments are, and where they're really looking to change the face of Port Moody. So I will give you a little context of the Port Moody as it is to Vancouver. So there is a Burrard Inlet that you're looking at. It is the last oceanfront. And in fact, some of these communities are going to be oceanfront communities. So last oceanfront heading east from Vancouver. And you can see from Port Moody, if you hop on the Barnett Highway, you can be downtown in about 35 minutes with no traffic, maybe 45 with traffic, or if it's really bad, more. But it's pretty smooth sailing here. You get some traffic on Hastings, and you certainly get some going into the downtown core here. You've got 2 SkyTrains here, which come up the hill and connect you, then take you through Burnaby, or can take you down to New Weston over to Surrey. And if you wanted to hop on the number 1, you come up here. It's actually, if you're in this end of Port Moody, it's really probably like 7 or 8 minutes to get you to the number one. If you are on this side over here of the Barnett Highway, then it will be a little bit more. But let's get into the developments that are coming up, just to give you some context of the size of these projects. Because Port Moody is a small place. Port Moody, I believe, still has under I believe it's under a population of 30,000. So the major projects, the big ones that are bringing a lot of towers to the area, which will really be increasing the population. Over here, we've got Coronation Park. This one is an old sawmill. It's called Flavel Oceanfront. This is going to be an oceanfront community with boardwalks coming right around to Rocky Point Park. And Rocky Point Park has an outdoor pool. It hosts festivals. It has a pier. It has a kids water park. It's an amazing park because it's on the ocean there too. So this is going to add to it. Right now, this is basically dead space because it was an old sawmill, but it's going to have boardwalk all around it. And then we have over here, which is the Woodland Park development. This is all on a hill as well. So these are going to have amazing views of what you see down here. So let's just give you an idea of what some of these things look like. We'll start with the sawmill. So you can see here, now these could be subject to change with working with the city, but this is the type of plans they have in place. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 towers in there. It's expected to have, I believe, 3,400 units. Obviously, that's approximate, but that's, looking at increasing the population of Port Moody by, maybe approximately 10% just in one area like that. Because Port Moody, up until now, on all these major developments, we've got couple master communities there at Newport and at Sutter, Brook. But other than that, it's very low density in comparison to everything else. So that is your sawmill here that's going to have boardwalk community. Now let's see which other ones here. Okay, so we've got the transit-orientated development here, the TOD, because we have the SkyTrain right there. You can the SkyTrain station is right here, so very, very close. And what they have in plans here, right now, this is kind of one-story commercial. This is one image of what they're looking at. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 13 towers there. And when you look at it this way, those other towers were here to add up the 13, but there's also all of this has been rezoned to go higher, because right now it's not going to go as high as the towers, but right now this is all pretty much one-story stuff, except for the newer developments that they're bringing in, like 5 and 6 floor units or townhomes and things like that. But there's going to be a lot more than just those row of towers. So all that is plugging into right here. Then if we come back, so this one is Coronation Park. So this one is over here. Now we've already got Sutter Brook Village across the street, and we have Newport Village to the north. Right there. So those ones are already built with towers around, but this is another big one that is coming. It splits into Coquitlam and Port Moody. So this here is what's already developed. That is, you're looking at Sutter Brook, and this is, I guess, the bottom end of Newport. Now, this part here is Port Moody. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 towers, and I guess townhomes and stuff in there. And then there's more towers that go back, but this is Coquitlam. So the image from the Port Moody city map just really focuses colorfulling up the city. But let's see if we can see if I had another one of it. Anyway, so the other stuff is on Coquitlam there, but it will feel like a seamless community, even though it will be going over top of the city. So that is what is happening over here. And then we have, I can look at multiple at once, so that's cool. Then we have Woodland. So do I have 2 of Woodland? Sorry to be rifling through here quick. Okay, so here is Woodland. And what this is up on the hill over here. And so when we look at that, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are 4 big towers. Then these look like townhomes or low rise, and this looks like mid rise. So I'm not exactly sure. Oh, so we can see from the color, those ones are maybe 6 stories, and then maybe some 5 stories. And then these low-rise are 4 stories. And all of these are on a hill, guys, so they're likely setting them up so they're all going to have views of the water. But between all of these, when all these projects are done, it will likely increase the population of Port Moody, I would say at least by 25%. And you got to think about it when we look at it like this, that 25% increase is all happening right in here. Right in there, right, around where the action is, around where the SkyTrain is, around where Brewers Row is, around where the main Rocky Point Park is, and everything like that. So it makes sense. Now, Port Moody residents have long resisted this type of densification, but everything seems to be rolling now. So if you're buying in and around Port Moody, just the fact that so many of these projects are in place, you can pretty much bet that your investment is going to be safe and likely have continued pressure and demand for future value of any real estate that you're purchasing in the area. But hopefully that gives you a guide of the major projects. Now, I know this one right here is a 6-story. Over here is a 6-story with commercial below, 6-story with commercial below. These ones, I think that's a 4-story, but there's lots of other stuff going on. I was just speaking on the 4 major ones, I would call them. But yeah, any questions at all, let me know, guys, and that is it. And that's it for the video today. If you got some value from the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, comment below, or if you would like to hop on a call and chat more about what may be the best move for you, you can book a call on my calendar at the link in the description below. I also left my contact info there, so feel free to reach out directly, and we will see you on the next video.